So, I'm using a different iPad. No, after I'm done. But today I am going to look at me. Look at me in the face. I'm gonna be recording something stupid for today. Not like literally. Moby Max. Mommy? What? How do I get into Moby Max? Because I went on Google and did Moby Max. I just typed in Moby Max and this is supposed to be a gaming setup, but I decided to do something stupid. So here's a little idea of what I'm gaming. Five Nights at Freddy's. I started doing Five Nights at Freddy's 3 and failed miserably on night 2. But Purple Guy, he's so scary. He's so scary. Oh my.
How do you log in, you mean?
Yeah.
Is it on your iPad? Like you got the login screen?
Yeah, it's on my iPad. I went on Google and just did Moby Max, and that's it.
You don't have it on your screen? Don't you have it up here somewhere?
No, I don't think so. That's just games, puzzle games, puzzle, puzzle. If it says arcade games, that's not in there.
Coda, go lay down.
Oh, come over here.
How come it's not on here anymore? You used to have it. Do you have Raz Kids on here?
Yeah, it's right down there.
So where the heck is Moby Max?
Oh, I forgot about Run to Life. I have so many games on here that I'm even forgetting. I'm probably probably after my break. Well, in my break, I'm probably gonna do
the paperwork for it, Max, 'cause I'm not sure.
I'm just gonna start Raz Kids then.
Huh?
I'm just gonna start Raz Kids. And I'm also recording this.
I don't care what you do right now. I just need you to do some work.
But
Do you have new stuff in there?
yeah, of course I do. I want to do that one again.
As long as you're reading.
Dawn of the Donut, written by Jody Chamberlain.
I'm not gonna plug this in, but I'm just gonna
Holy donuts.
wait.
Fluffy, sweet, delicious. These are just a few of the words people use to describe the donut. Found in grocery stores, bakeries, and restaurants, the humble donut has become a staple of breakfast and snack time throughout the United States and the world.
Can you get my donut pillow?
Right there on the couch.
Oh.
Various forms of fried dough have been popular treats throughout modern history. Tasty, donut-like pastries were often eaten during religious holidays, festivals, and carnivals throughout Europe, Asia, and Africa. The history of the modern American donut, however, begins much closer to home, by the shores of Rockport, Maine, in 1847.
Donut. Donut. No. No. No.
The
No.
whole story. Originally, donuts were not ring-shaped or topped with frosting and sprinkles. They were usually round and about the size of a walnut shell. The
Someone told
original
me a
donut
walnut.
was mainly based on a recipe from the Netherlands. Dutch settlers made a fried dough dessert called oliekoeks, or
Oliekoeks.
oily cakes.
Or oily.
Oliekoeks are small balls of dough fried in pork fat and stuffed with either hazelnuts or walnuts. People who didn't speak Dutch called them donuts. Elizabeth Gregory lived in Rockport, Maine, and was known for her amazing oliekoeks. She was also the mother of Hanson Crockett Gregory, a ship's captain. She supplied him and his crew with donuts for their long travels. One popular legend recounts that Captain Gregory invented the donut during a terrible storm at sea in 1847. Captain Gregory was eating a donut when he was desperately needed at the ship's helm. He took the donut and jammed it through the steering wheel spoke, giving him the free hands he needed. Another account says he disliked a donut center because it often wasn't completely cooked. He knew donuts were hard to cook all the way through without burning. One day, as he was cutting out the donut center, he had an idea. What if the hole was cut out of the dough before it was fried? Captain Gregory suggested that his donuts have the center removed before they were cooked. It worked. Captain Gregory improved the donut. However, it wasn't until World War I that donuts became an American passion. Donut Girls. In 1917, the United States entered World War I and sent tens of thousands of soldiers to Europe to fight. Constant rain and cold temperatures made conditions terrible for soldiers on the front lines in France and Belgium. The Salvation Army sent hundreds of volunteers to help the soldiers. Helen Purviance and Margaret Sheldon were two of the first to go. They were stationed in northeastern France. After 36 straight days of rain, the women agreed that they must do something to lift the soldiers' spirits. They decided to cook something delicious, and they knew baked goods made people feel happy. Pies and cakes were everyone's favorite, but they had few supplies and fewer fresh ingredients available in the countryside. The women decided to make donuts because they could be served cold and the ingredients were easily found. Helen and Margaret cooked late into the night. Using a small pan, they fried the donuts on an old pot-bellied stove. They served 150 donuts the next day to the grateful soldiers. Word about the donuts spread quickly, and the following day, a long line of soldiers waited for a warm donut and coffee.
Among Us.
The donuts were such a success that all Salvation Army volunteers started making them. The soldiers called the women Donut Girls. Wherever the soldiers went, the brave Donut Girls followed. They set up donut and coffee huts near the front lines and risked their lives to help. The Donut Girls understood that they gave more than a full belly. They gave the goodness of home. Doughboys. The term doughboy became a popular nickname for American troops in World War I. There are many theories about the origin of the term. For instance, it may have been a nickname for infantrymen covered in dust, or may have referred to their big, round buttons, which resembled lumps of dough. The word's true origin remains a mystery. By the end of World War I, doughboy became synonymous with bravery, honesty, and the American infantry. Spectator sport. When World War I ended in 1918,
Wait,
Many-
when did the world... 1 year? Wait. Yeah, 1 year.
Spectator sport. When World War I ended in 1918, many soldiers returned home to the United States, bringing their hunger for donuts. Adolf Levitt, an immigrant from Russia, spotted a business opportunity. In his bakery in Harlem, New York City, Levitt began frying up donuts. He started out cooking the donuts in small batches in a kettle at the window. As he turned each donut over with a stick, people would stop to watch. Soon a crowd would form, and the people would buy the donuts as soon as they were done. Levitt's shop became so popular that he couldn't make donuts fast enough. He needed a machine
You guys won't hear it for the rest, but I will. Actually, no.
tried again and again. Finally, in 1920,
Okay, let me read this. Levitt's... Just don't correct me, okay? Levitt's shop became so popular that he couldn't make donuts fast enough. He needed a machine to make the process more efficient. Since such a machine did not exist, he decided to invent one. Working with an engineer, he designed a donut making machine. The first machine didn't work, but they tried again and again. Finally, 2 whole years. Finally, in 1920, the 12th model was successful.
the 12th model was successful.
I just said that.
He named it the wonderful, almost human, automatic donut machine and put his new invention in the window of his bakery. People went crazy for it.
I
The public's
will donut.
fascination with the machine and their love of donuts attracted people from all over. Everyone wanted to see Levitt's wonderful donut machine in action. The first chains. Bakers from all around the country bought Levitt's donut machine. Donuts were being made in bakeries and delicatessens, as well as at festivals and county fairs all across the United States. Levitt's success didn't end with his invention. In 1931, he opened the first donut chain, Mayflower Donuts. Donuts and coffee had become an American staple.
Donuts.
Donuts also became popular in part because of the automobile. People on the road would stop at donut stands that began to pop up along roadways. These stands provided a fast
Johnny
snack
Donuts.
for busy people.
I'm gonna buy some
In many
donuts,
places,
even though they're poison.
donut stands became fun destinations unto
Why,
themselves.
Johnny Donuts?
Some donut shops became so popular that the owners
Danny
were able
Donut,
to open
not
more
Dunny Donut.
shops in other cities. Vernon Rudolph opened Krispy Kreme in Winston-Salem, North Carolina in 1937. He was so poor that for the first batch of donuts, he had to borrow the ingredients from a grocery store. He paid the store back in donuts. In the beginning, Vernon only sold donuts to grocery stores and restaurants. Then Vernon noticed that whenever he was frying up a fresh batch, people would knock on the door. His donuts smelled so good that people walking by couldn't help but stop. They wanted to buy his donuts immediately. Vernon cut a hole in the store wall and began to sell his donuts directly to customers. Donut versus donut. Many donut shop owners changed the name donut to donut. They felt that simplifying the spelling made the word more pronounceable, recognizable, and uniquely American. By the time the United States entered World War II in 1941, donuts had become a part of American life. Women working for the American Red Cross took a page from the donut girls of World War I and brought soldiers on the front lines hot coffee and donuts. Soldiers soon began calling the women donut dollies. More donut chains. When World War II ended in 1945, the donut was at the height of its popularity.
It's time for that story. What happens when you flush? The history of anime?
The History of Anime. Written by Susan
I don't know what
Lennox.
anime is. No, like,
Focus
I never
question.
watched it. I never watched it.
What is anime, and how has it changed over time?
Oh my god.
Introduction. Long before words existed, there were pictures. Early people used art to tell stories and share information. From ancient cave paintings to stone carvings, the images showed how the artists saw the world around them. As time passed, languages developed. Symbols and words were used to share ideas. Art, however, continued to be an important part of storytelling. That is still true today. Stories are told not just with still drawings, but also with animated figures in cartoons and video games. One type of storytelling art comes from the Asian island nation of Japan. Known as anime, it has become popular worldwide. Art for all. The history of anime began more than 200 years ago. Before the 19th century, most Japanese artwork was done on large scrolls. The careful attention needed to make scroll art took time